Well, hello there. It's that time again. Yes, it is. It is time for our weekly tarot slash astrology blog here on June the 10th of 2018. And as usual, I'm going to go over some Tarot de Marseille cards and then touch upon a little bit of astrology. And as usual, it's going to be an interesting ride, so do stay tuned. Okay, the Major Arcana card from the Tarot de Marseille, this is the CBD Tarot that I love to use for the blog, is going to come on the screen and cover my face in a moment. And the cards that I drew for this week at random are the Fool, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Hermit. Now, this one puzzled me initially. I had to look at it carefully and meditate on it a little bit to get the message. We have the Fool trudging along with the dog gnawing on his leg and his red walking stick in his right hand. On the other side of the spread, we have the Hermit making eye contact with him. They are looking at one another. And then in the middle, we have the figure in the World card, encased in her wreath of victory, surrounded by the four cherubic animals, representing the four elements, and she's very warily looking at the figure in the Fool. She's definitely protected from his foolishness, okay? She is encased, and she's surrounded with guardians, but she's kind of wary. She really does not want to embrace him, as friendly as she may seem to be otherwise. Now, the Fool has his red walking stick, and we see in the image with the World card that she is wearing his walking stick. She has a red garment that is furled around her, and then when we look at our Hermit card, he too has a red walking stick. This one is more worn, more beaten, and he's holding it upright. So I found this very interesting visual detail. For me, red is the color of motivation, the color of power. Now the Fool is new on the path. He's a fool. He's ignorant. And that's why we have to be careful with him. Because ignorance is not a virtue. Ignorance may be bliss, but it's not a virtue. Okay? And that's why the figure in the World card is looking at him kind of nervously. She's like, I don't want you slobbering all over me. You're a fool. You know? I'm pristine. I'm undefiled. I'm in a good space here. I don't really need your nonsense. The Hermit, of course, is more compassionate. He's locking eyes and holding up his lamp and like saying, I'll guide your path. I'll help you. Okay? Because in a way, I am you. I was you. He has the red walking stick, well worn from use. Experience is wisdom. So the message for this week seems to be wise. Be careful what you do. Don't go off half-cocked. You may be motivated. We may be motivated. But we want to be careful how we proceed. This seems to be the message that I'm getting here. Reflect on what you're doing. Look at it in the light of your experience, your wisdom, so you don't get caught up in impulse and in energy and then wind up doing something that you regret later. And our minor arcana cards certainly do seem to support this, as we are going to see. Okay, so let's look at these minor arcana cards. We have two nines. We got the Nine of Wands and the Nine of Swords. Now, Nine of Wands is change, okay? It's a motivation towards change. Sometimes a lot of changes, a lot of busyness, a lot of activity. Now, in the Kamoid Hodorowski deck, I don't think my CBD Tarot really depicts this. They show that singular wand running up through the Nine Wands. It's kind of being interrupted. It's the idea of not being able to really follow your path in a straightforward way. You have to pause. You have to pause, and then you can pick it up again. That's kind of like what we need to do here this week, And that Nine of Swords, that's definitely saying the way is blocked. Okay, that sword can hardly get through those 9 swords. There's a lot of resistance. That's okay. We don't always have to plow forward. Sometimes we do, and I'll tell you when the time is to do that. And I've done it before on this blog, but this is more of a week to kind of pause and reflect and look at what we're doing. And if we do that, we really can have a decent week. We have some decent stuff astrologically, which we'll look at next. Yes, this week we're going to have a new moon. Yes, that's going to be on Wednesday. And that is going to be in Gemini. All right, the moon will go void, of course, about the time it goes new. But still, it's going to be this new moon in Gemini. Good for new beginnings. Up to that point, I don't do anything. Okay, not magically in terms of spell work or ritual. I wouldn't do something. I would just kind of like let it go. Because in the dark of the moon, right before the new moon, we don't tend to have a lot of angelic forces helping us. It's like that energy sort of kind of comes to a rest, the best way to describe it. So I always pick up on the new moon as a time to start new things. Then Thursday, the day after that, is going to be I'm trying to remember the aspect right offhand. Okay, it's going to be the moon conjunct Mercury. This is going to be early in the morning, and you could do anything that day to help generate abundance. Thursday is the day of Sachiel, Angel Sachiel, Angel of Abundance, Angel of Money, Jupiter, okay, Jupiter's day. And having that mercurial energy there with the moon is good because that also ties in with abundance workings. All right, so that's a good time to ask for more money or to ask for a raise or looking for a job. Be a good time to work for that. And then on Sunday, Father's Day, we're going to have the moon sextile the sun, again early in the morning, but it puts a pleasant cast on the day. So any kind of solar spells, healing spells, stuff for success, stuff for recognition, honors, good idea. Good idea. And of course, good idea to honor your father if he's still with us. Okay? So, all in all, not a bad week. So there you go. There is your weekly dose of tarot and astrology with Bob Decker. I appreciate your support in watching this blog. And until I see you next week, many, many blessings.